Great. Thanks, Juan. And hey, everyone. I'm Peter. I head up the UK-EU region and product at Wynomia, and we'll be joined today for Q&A by Matt Barbuto, our CEO and co-founder. We're an IoT-centered construction tech startup automating the data collection and reporting of on and off-site resources and workflows. Our USP is best described in three parts. First, we automate field data collection via our proprietary Bleak network, sensors and integrations. Second, we automate reporting via our real-time construction digital twin. And third, we've made IoT for construction simple and easy to set up and operate. We believe and have seen too many problems in construction caused and compounded by the need for manual, human-dependent workflows in reporting via spreadsheets and paper-based tools. And digitization alone doesn't solve these problems, but we believe that automation can. Which brings us to two solutions: connected supply chain and connected job site. Connected Supply Chain is a tag and track tool built for construction using IoT integrations in our mobile app to provide users with unparalleled visibility of their supply chain in a real-time construction digital twin. Key benefits include direct and indirect time savings, and we give customers the tools and data they need to optimize process, better manage risk, and identify issues much earlier. The system is extremely flexible and is generally made up of gateways in strategic locations to create an autonomous IoT network across the supply chain, sensor tags attached to building elements, our low-touch mobile app, which supports users on and off-site, and integrations where we leverage valuable data already available elsewhere when the benefits are clear and quantifiable. For example, we've integrated with Aconex to report further up the value chain on the progress of thousands of drawings in our digital twin. Three recent case studies. At Macetech's NO6, we tracked 6 types of prefab units from casting through to handover on site. And quoting Peter Goring from Mace, it used to take 4 people and a combined week of effort to produce weekly progress reports. With the Wynomia solution, we now have accurate, automated, and reliable, up-to-date information every 3 minutes. At ProBuild's VU Tower, the tallest uni building in the Southern Hemisphere, we applied lean principles to reduce the amount of inventory and cash tied up in excess materials coming from China by around $2.4 million. And at Lendlease's 140 Lonsdale Street, we're leveraging integrations to report on both structure and facade packages in a single digital twin. So now to connected job site, a unique tool for reporting job site workflows and resources, mainly trades, operatives, waste, and mobile plant and equipment. Once we've deployed our multi-level network, we're autonomously reporting the locations of pretty much anything with a tag in real time and providing valuable insight and visibility in ways that have never before been possible. Our network is extremely flexible and robust, and without getting too technical, our relay on the far left is a very unique and powerful device, runs Bluetooth and LoRaWAN, forms the backbone of the network, and enables continuous, real-time, and reliable positioning of resources in 3 dimensions in construction environments where others simply can't. As an example, at Industry Lanes, we're tracking 210 operatives across 3 buildings and a multi-level basement. And on another project going live next week, we're looking at 400 operatives across 65 levels. And these projects typically take around 7 days to fully deploy. A quick note on the competitive landscape. We're quite confident we've established a defensible moat through our proprietary Bleak tech, our application across supply chain and job site, our real-time construction digital twin, but also in our ability to leverage and amplify value to customers through integrations and partnerships with other products such as Aconex, Autodesk, and MatTrack, overall maximizing benefits and ROI with minimal cost, effort, and friction. So where next? In connected supply chain, we're going broader and deeper with new product features and insights. In connected job site, our focus is in waste tracking and trades. Waste tracking to improve environmental performance and productivity, and trades to maximize productivity and safety on site. Our goal being to give people back their time and the insights that they need to make better decisions with more confidence and deliver projects with greater success.
Hello everyone, my name is Charles. I'm co-founder and CPO at Ibu. Ibu is an equipment data platform that helps companies maximize the productivity, profitability, and sustainability of every moving equipment involved in a construction project. How? By making equipment data easily accessible and meaningful. The success of a construction project relies on good equipment data, but we are all aware of how behind the market is in terms of efficiency and productivity, mostly due to a lack of information. But you know the paradox? We have information. The construction sector is currently experiencing a perfect storm of data, for which equipment is a major contributor. And still, no one is taking advantage of it. This is why we decided to create EBU, to improve the collaboration between equipment and people by making equipment data accessible and meaningful. And we make it very easy for them. We centralize data from all connected equipment on a single endpoint and turn it into actionable insights. Any model, any make, anywhere. Here is how it works. First, they can integrate over 50 data sources without the overhead that comes with traditional data infrastructure. Within minutes, you get a digital inventory. Then, our data science provide clean and reliable data to empower clients to make confident decisions, driving equipment performances, tracking job site productivity, and much more. At last, we don't want to be another app. We connect data with the tools where it makes sense, where it becomes a use case, such as SAP, Salesforce, or Procore. Here are the three main industry segments we are dealing with: construction, rental, and waste. And we are now developing the business with any neighboring industries using construction equipment in their daily operations. With more than 20 customers, we are glad to improve daily equipment management for more than 20,000 equipment of some top industrial leaders such as Eiffage, NGE, or Lost. In practical terms, how does the data we process help our customers? Well, if you look at L'Hotelier's use case at the top left, they are a French construction company who used Hibu to level up their maintenance process to go from reactive plan to preventive one. This is just one example. There are many other, like the importance for Enco to maximize rental revenue, or for Veolia to monitor the CO2 emissions. I actually wanted to spend a bit more time on the carbon emission subject in the next slide, because decarbonization is an existential challenge, especially for the construction sector, who holds on of one of the biggest levers for climate impact. It is so crucial for business to be able to measure, reduce, and report on their carbon footprint in order to comply with the regulation and to stay competitive. With our clients, NGE, the tracking of their equipment emissions led to the savings of 1,100 tons of CO2 equivalent and over 3 million euros. Last thing I want to introduce is Ibu's team. We are 16 people today, coming from different backgrounds, with a majority of tech people with different experiences at big firms such as Oracle or Adobe and BCG, but also successful startups such as Dashlane or Alchemix. We are also very lucky to collaborate with great teams and great industrial leaders such as SAP, Total, and Procore. Thank you all for your attention.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is James Thompson, and I'm the CEO of Voyage Control. I'd like to spend the next couple of minutes just talking to you about what we're doing to help optimize supply chain and logistics. Ultimately, what we're trying to do with our customers is help them proactively manage everything that is going on in their supply chains and using digital tools to do that. And this is really about taking away from using whiteboards, spreadsheets, and even WhatsApp groups, where they really have no understanding of what's truly going on and very little ability to manage that. The way we do this is through three products. I started Voyage Control, which is all about helping our customers manage their supply chains up to the front gate of a construction project, and then the planned movement of materials through hoists and cranes. However, this year we also acquired two other businesses, Hoist, which I liken to Uber for the hoist, which is actually all about reducing waiting times for people trying to use a hoist on a job site, and then Crane Time, which is all about optimizing cranes on a job site as well and reducing cycle times. Ultimately, though, this is a transformational strategy that can take 5 to 10 years with any of our customers. And it is about those sort of baby steps of taking people away from paper, implementing a platform that helps them to start manage their logistics and supply chain, adding on top of that inventory control, and then ultimately connecting their supply chain with the schedule and procurement. We don't just do that with our own platform, we also do that through a partner ecosystem. That started with Procore back in 2016, and we now have about 20 to 30 different integrations supporting our customers globally, of which Power BI is probably the largest one in use in the construction industry. At the same time that we're providing this visibility to our logistics activities for our clients, it's also important that we help our customers with achieving their ambitions around net zero. But the reality at the moment is most of our customers, and indeed most construction companies globally, have no idea what they're buying through their supply chain, which is the largest part of their embodied carbon issues. And so what we're trying to do is help them create that understanding of what's going on. And not only do we do that ourselves, but we also do that with a number of partners that we work with globally to help our clients. To give you a sense of our scale globally, and one of the reasons why I think we can probably help most of the businesses in the room, since launching in 2013, actually in the events industry, we started in construction in 2016, and we support about 100 construction firms globally across several hundred construction sites at any one time, ranging from projects that are $10 to $20 million up to projects that are worth $20 billion. And we have about 6 million deliveries that have been scheduled on our platform. Our largest market is certainly the North American market, where we support 25 of the top 100 general contractors, and indeed some of them have 50 sites apiece using our software, which really gives them a good enterprise view of what's happening. Just quickly delving into a couple of examples though, this is probably the largest example of end-to-end supply chain visibility for one of our customers. So Madison Square Gardens is building a multi-billion-dollar entertainment venue in Las Vegas. And not only are they using our platform to schedule all of their deliveries, but their entire supply chain schedules everything through the supply chain so our customer understands what's going on. Slightly closer to home, and this is an example where we support both the construction company and the owner. This is St James Quarter, which is the new mixed-use development up in Edinburgh, where we support the construction work with Laing O'Rourke, and also we support the owner, which is managed by Savills, to look after all of the deliveries. And this also helps highlight the need for any construction project to really reduce the impact on the local community from freight. And then finally, a civil project in Australia. This one again is with Laing O'Rourke, where it's not just about supporting a very tight building site in a big city centre, but it's also about supporting major infrastructure projects, which we do on a global basis, particularly where there are regulatory issues as well. Globally, we have a team of 35, which is expanding, and this really enables us to understand what any needs are of any construction customer and how we can help them, and it gives us a bit of an unfair advantage in supporting our global clients. I'm out of time, so thank you very much, and I hope that was of use.
Good morning, I'm Andre Turble. I'm the CEO and founder of Arcs Alliance, and thanks to Goldacre and RElab for the opportunity today. Arcs Alliance is on a mission to be the new standard in cybersecurity and supply chain resilience. And why supply chain resilience and cyber? Well, in 2020, 60% of major cyber breaches came through the supply chain. And why is that happening? It's as larger companies are deploying deep tech solutions, hackers are looking for weak links in your supply chain. And across our supply chain, there's lots of them, so lots of point of attack. And when you overlay that with 90% of cyber attacks have some human element, all of a sudden for hackers, that attack surface becomes massive. And then with digital transformation, when you start looking at digital devices and IoT, it's now the opportunity of the highwaymen to really capitalize on those weak links within your supply chain. And let's look at some of the stats around that. Every 19 seconds, a small business in the UK is hacked. And why is it happening? Well, if you look at the top of this chart, this is Hiscox's report. 72% of UK companies are recognized as being novice when it comes to cybersecurity. And that reflects and correlates why we're seeing those targeted within your supply chains. Because SMEs are underprepared and underserved. And just some examples of where that's happening. We've heard of SolarWinds before Christmas last year, Colonial Pipeline, and Maersk, 300 million cost in 6 minutes through a supply chain attack. And it's hitting the construction industry too, your industry. It's the third highest in terms of incidence of ransomware. And as your industry evolves and our industry evolves in terms of digitization, that's set to become higher. When you're looking at BIM systems, Internet of Things, and devices. And it's no longer the domain of IT departments. It's coming to C-suite. reputational damage, financial loss, and also direct liability as more and more legislation is being driven down. So what ARCS has done is to address that problem for all companies of all sizes. So ARCS maps your supply chains, gives you full situational awareness, and then scans that supply chain against a weighting against the importance of the suppliers to you and general data that we can see to see how resilient they are. But the more important thing is supporting those suppliers. We're dependent on all those people within our value chain. So ARCS brings those suppliers on board and not only interrogates them, because remember, these suppliers are victims as well as potential accessories to an attack or a crime against yourselves, but we support them to put those controls in place. And then each supplier will have their own rating and can be dynamic. So as the threat evolves, we can keep moving them along and make sure they're always secure and you're aware of who they are and where they are at any one time. And the more people that come onto the platform, we become like the Waze of cybersecurity, because we harvest that organic intelligence. So not only can we start predicting where an attack might happen and pre-arm and put patches in ahead of time, but if there is an attack, we can get to it a lot quicker. And because we map supply chains, we can also start to look at other areas of risk. ESG, we can look at scope 3 emissions, and also geopolitical risk, as well as potential future climate risk on your supply chains. So what we want to do is put light on your supply chain and support those suppliers. Don't be in the dark, and we would love you to get more involved and learn more about what we're doing at ARCS. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having us. My name is Ali Safari and I'm the founder of Faraday. What I'm hoping to leave you at the end of this presentation is with 3 key takeaways. Number 1, why and how Faraday was started. Number 2, the problem that we're solving and the solution. And number 3, why I'm super excited about our future. What drives us on a day-to-day basis at Faraday is the desire to have a positive, lasting impact on our planet, the global economy, and local communities through innovation, developing great products. Currently, we're developing the central nervous system for the power system. What does that mean? The energy industry is experiencing a profound transformation. Both the supply and demand is being fundamentally disrupted, but the power industry has zero visibility on its supply chain. At Faraday, we're combining 3 different mathematical fields: graph theory, power systems, and machine learning to solve for that exact visibility problem. The technology that we are developing is so powerful that we can have use cases not only in the power sector, but also in real estate, smart cities, and elsewhere, and collectively create a lot of wealth for the industries that we are planning to serve. The first application of our platform is a market-ready product called Compass. Compass is a one-click surveying platform that enables renewable energy developers as well as the rapid or fast electric vehicle charging infrastructure developers to find optimal locations to deploy capital and develop the next charging stations. Because the platform is super complex and there's a lot of analytics to get your head around, we've also innovated on the user interface as well. The platform has a beautiful user interface which enables our customers to get the most out of the platform. Our efforts has been recognized in the power industry so far. Just 2 months ago, we won one of the most prestigious awards for the best small business of the year in the Business Green Award. We've been shortlisted for other prestigious industry awards as well as the best energy startup of the year as well. I'm super lucky to have a phenomenal team around me, which they help me to execute on this vision on a day-to-day basis. In addition, we've also assembled together a world-class advisory board, which they're advising us to make sense of the complexity that the energy industry is imposing in the future of our society. Whilst I'm super proud of what we have achieved over the last 1.5 years, it's actually the future, which I'm super excited about. Currently with Compass, we are serving a range of different clients, including large oil and gas companies, large automotive companies, but we are leading 2 world-leading projects. One, with the leading distribution network operator, which is starting next year. And 2, we are bringing together the gas network, water network, and the power systems in order to have a collectively integrated energy system of the future. Just last, not yesterday, the day before, I was sharing a panel with the UK government discussing the exact same thing. And we're going to be meeting in person to discuss the project in more details. At the same time, we're also getting interest from the international market. We're looking to expand into Australia, Japan, and the US. As I said, the platform also has applications in real estate, which I'm super excited about. We can help the real estate customers to originate and structure residential development with the current capabilities that the platform has. And finally, I'd love to leave you with one key thought, an invitation to collaborate with us to build an exciting and more sustainable future world together. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Ollie, the CEO of Earthly, and it's a pleasure to be with you presenting today. Our mission is to be the leading marketplace for nature-based solutions and help businesses remove at least 1 billion tons of carbon over the next decade. The ESG conversation has been predominantly focused around climate change and carbon. There's more awareness of the intertwined biodiversity crisis, and looking at COP26 this year, 2 out of 3 of the themes are around restoring our planet and biodiversity. We've had the task force for climate-related financial disclosures that's been launched, and then more recently the task force for nature-related financial disclosures. And the bottom line is we need to tackle both climate and biodiversity, otherwise we're toast. The good news is nature-based solutions can tackle both. So these are interventions such as reforestation, peatland rewetting, blue carbon kelp projects, regenerative agriculture. They actually have the opportunity. They have the potential to mitigate 1/3 of the greenhouse gas mitigation required over the next decade to keep us to 1.5 degrees of heating. Yet they only receive 3% of funding. So what's holding back investment into nature? So on the one hand, there's a real lack of high quality projects, and on the other side, people really struggle to engage with these projects and with their investments into these projects. So Earthly is a marketplace that connects businesses with high quality nature-based solutions, and then we bring to life our clients' investments through 3D engaging visualization. We have 2 core products. One is a climate positive certification. So this supports a carbon reduction strategy and is where a client will balance out 110% of the carbon footprint of either their whole company, of a specific asset such as a building, or say an individual colleague or team member. We also have an API where you can integrate investments into nature into your business or into a product. This could be used, say, for customer rewards, planting trees linked to transactions, or could be used for, say, balancing out the carbon in the supply chain, or could be linked to specific transactions. The science is the heart of everything that we do, and we're very proud to be working with these 8 academics around the world, all experts in the nature-based solution space. And looking at our value proposition, our scientific board have helped us develop an assessment system to really help us provide and understand, which of these projects are high quality. And through our marketplace, businesses that work with us can then get access to these high integrity projects. We ourselves are verified to ISO standards through the Carbon Action Group, and we sit on the Task Force for Voluntary Carbon Markets. We developed an ongoing satellite monitoring tool so our clients can have peace of mind that their investments into our project partners are doing what they say they're doing with regards to restoring nature. On the engagement side, we really help you visualize and understand your nature investments. So every customer has a unique 3D island, which is a visual representation of their investments into nature-based solutions. And the island and the visuals on the island evolve in parallel with the real-world projects, so you can follow and track your progress over time. We really help you understand your impact, so the carbon, biodiversity, and the social benefits are all integrated into your dashboard and into this island. We're very proud to be working with a range of enterprise clients with a focus in the built industry, the fintech sector, and manufacturing. Looking at a specific case study, this is Artemis Education, who built a school in Qatar, and we balanced out the construction through our marketplace through 20,000 tons. They're now building 10 new schools around Europe and MENA, and we're working with them to balance out the construction footprint of all these schools. We're a team of entrepreneurs, engineers, and scientists, all brought together with a shared passion around fighting the climate crisis and restoring our planet. And I'd be delighted to answer any questions. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Imre Gustav, and I'm a co-founder of RElab Technologies. We all know that buildings account for 40% of energy-related CO2 emissions. So the only way to reduce CO2 emissions is to cut energy consumption. At the same time, indoor climate comfort is a priority in every building. So the main question is how to save energy and increase indoor comfort at the same time. RElab Technologies has a solution for that, an artificial intelligence-based software solution, RElab Digital Operator. How does it work? For the first step, we integrate our software to the building automation system remotely, according to the highest IT security standards. It doesn't matter what brand of building automation system you have, we are able to connect it in a secure way. And also, we don't need any additional hardware for that. Our solution is a cloud-based software. We use the data of the building automation system to create valuable insights. And the most unique, we adjust settings automatically to optimize comfort levels and energy usage. The more complex the building is, the better results we can achieve. And the most important, all decisions of RElab Digital Operator are made according to three main key performance indicators: energy efficiency, indoor comfort, and building's technical condition. With that, we are able to make sure your heating, ventilating, and cooling system is running as it should be. That's the most efficient way. Some words about the connectivity issue as well. For that, we use secure VPN tunnels between the building automation system and our cloud-based software. Also, we have developed APIs for every single building automation system to read and write. In addition to our technology, I would like to say some words about RElab Technologies also. We were born in Estonia in 2017, and we are active across Europe. There are no geographical limitations for us. Our clients are located all over Europe, from Finland to Portugal. RElab Technologies software is integrated to over 900,000 square meters of commercial buildings already, shopping malls, office buildings, and hotels of CBRE, Radisson Blu, WeWork, and many others. Probably it's interesting to see one case study as well. This is a modern office building in Estonia, built 3 years ago. It has an advanced automation system, almost 3,000 controllable heating, ventilating, and cooling components, and 50,000 data points. It is clear that no human operator can run the system the most optimal way, but RElab Technologies can. As a result, we were able to increase indoor comfort from 60% level to 90% level and save over 30% of total energy. Cutting over 200 tons of CO2 emission in 4 months is a remarkable number also, and all this without any investment or additional hardware. What makes RElab Digital Operator unique? For the first, remote setup without any additional hardware. Also, there is no obligation for a new user interface. We offer results instead of just monitoring on our analytics. And finally, results-oriented pricing. Our business model has been developed to get out the best of the building. After the integration, we just listen for a building for a month to check if the technical systems function well. After that, we know exactly what works fine and what are the shortages. And then we will launch our autopilot to optimize our energy usage and report the results we have achieved on a monthly basis. RElab Technologies is a strong and reliable partner. Without our satisfied clients, different awards and certificates are a clear proof of that. Thank you for the attention.
Hello, I'm Michael Evans, CEO of Cambridge Carbon Capture. Our CO2 lock technology captures and permanently locks away CO2 as magnesium carbonate, and this can be used as a construction material. Our process also can create critical metals like cobalt and nickel, and silica, which are all important for the rollout of renewable energies and EV technologies. We have an international patent, and our USPs are that our technology permanently captures CO2 and locks it away. We actually make a profit from capturing CO2, and we can do it at a gigaton scale. Also, our byproducts displace carbon-intensive alternatives, and this gives us additional carbon benefits. And there's no need for pipelines or storage sites. Our technology is in two parts. Stage 2 is where we capture CO2 and convert it to magnesium carbonate. But in order for stage 2 to be profitable, we need a supply of magnesium hydroxide. And this is where our stage 1 process comes in. So we start with mining tailings or mined serpentine or olivine. And these are magnesium silicates, and about 80% of the Earth's crust is made from these materials. So very abundant and very cheap. And we produce the magnesium hydroxide. We also produce silica, and we can extract metals, and these metals are highly valuable. The opportunity is well known. I mean, there's COP26. There've been much talk of the need for carbon capture and utilization, but also for the hard to abate industries. They're talking about actually capturing CO2 from the air, and our technology does exactly that. Existing technologies add cost, and this is a real issue, and one of the main barriers why these technologies aren't ubiquitous today. Our process, on the other hand, can actually manufacture a number of different products which we can sell. And when you look at the revenues from this, we can actually end up making profits of around £300 per tonne of CO2 we capture. It can be used in many different applications. The obvious one is obviously stripping CO2 from industrial emissions. We can also create blue hydrogen from fossil fuels. We can clean up biogases, landfill gas, syngases, etc. We can also look at our technology as purely a way of manufacturing critical metals and building materials. And more recently, we've got a contract to look at our technology as a direct air capture technology. We've got good traction. We're working with a number of partners on some piloting projects that we hope to fund over the next year or so. So we're working with the ceramics industry, Holcim, one of the biggest construction material companies in the world. We've got industrial engineering partners and equipment manufacturers who would help us in our technology. Our team, we're a well-established team. We've been working together for some 20 years at different organizations. I myself have started up a number of clean tech companies, one of which I took to an IPO in 2005. The team that I have here is my A team. I worked with them through those projects and working with them again today with this technology. So in summary, our CO2 lock technology is a circular economy solution to climate change. Our technology is easy to deploy and offers a profitable route to permanent CO2 capture. We have the additional benefits of creating a number of byproducts that offset carbon-intensive alternatives, giving us further carbon benefit. And we have a strong market demand and a good patent position. Thank you very much.
Hello, thank you, Juan. I'm indeed Max, and I'm indeed the CEO of REbatech. REbatech is a robotic construction startup based in Norway, and we are working with a big problem or an opportunity. 160 billion euros of rebar are spent annually on rebar. Today, rebar design and installation is error-prone, and the installation is a very dangerous task, and it's extremely labor-intensive. Another part of the problem is the fractured value chain. Typically, you have consultants doing the design, suppliers making the steel, and then contractors installing the steel on site. We do this differently. We have a parametric design tool that gives us a great design very quickly, and we have the steel, and then we prefabricate REbarTech cages. And our cages, they save you up to 90% of the installation time on site. They help you finish your project sooner. Prefabrication is a known method. We do it a little bit differently. With our parametric design tool, we upload our instructions to our cloud software, and from there, all the instructions for the machines, for the robots, for the workers, they are directly connected to our backend. Now, here's a quick glance at the design tool. Not sure you will see so much on the screen, but what you should see is that the rebar, the welding instructions, the jigs, everything is generated automatically from our parametric design software. What you see here is our automated production solution. In this case here, we're working on a tunnel project. You see it's a combination of human labor and robotic labor currently. And this is a factory we would typically set up at your project. Takes us a few weeks to set up, and then currently we're focusing on mass production. We would run it for years. The same hardware can be reconfigured to make bigger cages, for example, diaphragm walls here. Also, the rest is more or less the same. Currently, we have deployed 3 prototype factories. Here you see one in Norway making tunnel cages. There's another one here in Norway where we test a lot of different projects. And the third one we installed this summer in Thamesport near London, also for a tunnel project. We have delivered over 30 projects and thousands of cages to our customers. Again, here some tunnel cages, bridge projects we have delivered, and houses, balconies, lots of different stuff that we've tried. Let's look at one project. It's E39 highway here in Norway. In that project, there were 10,000 tons of rebar for 20 highway bridges. We looked at it together with our customers. We delivered only a few hundred cages in this pilot. Let's be clear about this. In a traditional way, this project takes 2 years to complete, and a contractor would spend around 40 million euros on rebar. Now, we sat together with our customer and said, okay, in the next project, if we can take rebar, when we can take the rebar technology all the way, then we can make 50% of the project with Rebatec cages, and we can save 2 months of time and up to 4 million euros. Currently, we're focusing on mass production, and it's easier for our technology to make thousands of the same cage. So we're well on our way in tunnel projects, and we are working on getting into wind turbines and railroad projects. After we have established ourselves in mass production, we can reuse a lot of this technology for mass customization. Our team, we are currently 20 humans in our company from 12 nations. I am a construction engineer coming from contractors. I have built a lot of infrastructure projects. Rasmus is from the consulting side. He is very good at parametric design and has won a global BIM award. And with that, I thank you for your attention and hope you have some great questions for me.
Hello, my name is Julian Breton and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Astro. Astro is a hardware and software solution using drones to set a new standard in subsurface mapping. With top of industry data quality and certified services, we let you see the unseen. Conventional surveys are of a long duration, especially in large areas, and are therefore very costly. Inaccessible areas need to be surveyed by foot, or alternatively with even more expensive methods. Astro faces these challenges with their unique drone solution. We combine geophysical sensors with drones to be 10 times faster than conventional methods. Our drone flies autonomously along a predefined route. Our work is invasive, so setting a foot on the area is not necessary anymore. Our geophysical and optical system combined with our in-house built software can generate digital data sets and reports that can be used for applications like detecting bombs and munition, utility mapping, and many more. Our cloud platform is also our transfer and transformation tool, so our reports are available on every mobile device. For our surveys, we use the method of geomagnetic mapping. So every time there's a ferrous object in the subsurface, we can detect it with our high-resolution magnetometer. Our software processes this data and cancels out unwanted noise produced by the electromagnetic parts of the drone or other sources. With this method, we are able to detect materials like cables, pipelines, and foundation within an accuracy of 30 centimeters. Our goal is to get the best product for our clients. That's why we want to increase our product range, to increase the information value and the result precision. Right now, we are developing the drone radar technology to be able to detect non-ferrous objects in the subsurface and cavities. When I first had the idea of our product, I couldn't sleep for 3 nights straight because I couldn't believe there's no one out there doing the underground surface mapping with drones. But this has changed since then. Nowadays, it's easy to fly a drone equipped with a sensor, and there are companies like Teramis or Cterra doing this, but it's hard to get good data out of it. And that's where our USP is. Our in-house built software is analyzing drone data to not only process geomagnetic data on top of industry data quality, but also generating this data into maps and reports. This advantage gives us the privilege to be the first certified company for the detection of bombs and munition in Germany. We have amazing customers with project volumes up to $400 million. We offer our services for cross-industry sectors and companies in the real estate, construction, the energy sector, and the oil and gas sector. One of our use cases was a 400 million project doing the surveying of the surface and subsurface for Siemens. They had a very tight time schedule, and they could rely their massive projects on our measurements. With our services, we cut the project time by nearly 90%. Another use case was a 1 square kilometer survey, which would normally take months, and we did it in just 1 week. Another survey was over water, where there was no alternative than using our drone system. Our team, which is called the astronauts, consists of experts in geophysics, mathematics, and software development. We are located in the Ruhr area in Germany and in Vienna in Austria. We see these use cases not only in Europe, but all over the world. Our goal is to help people and companies with our services for big infrastructure projects and humanitarian work across the globe. So if you're interested in coming along the journey with us, either as a partner or as a customer or as an investor, please do get in touch with us. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Ashish. I'm an architect and I'm co-founder and CTO of Hyperion Robotics. I'm passionate about how technology can influence the way we build. As you know, construction is a very large industry, but it's also the least automated industry out of all the major industries. And construction has a problem. It's the most polluting industry. Concrete is the second most used material on Earth, and cement is source of 8% of the world's CO2 emission. It also accounts for 20% of electricity use in the EU. At Hyperion, we are rethinking our approach to concrete making. How do we do that? We do that with circular concrete with large-scale 3D printing. What we do first is we select the material, develop the material together with our clients. We create a circular value chain, so from industrial waste products to 3D printing technology to creating industrial infrastructure out of that. So we use industrial waste such as fly ash, blast furnace slag, mining tailing, and construction demolition waste. After that, we do design and engineering, create an integrated workflow together with our clients. We are already working with large industrial companies such as Iberdrola, Metso Autotech, Techint. So Iberdrola owns the Scottish power grid, for example, and they own multiple different power grids around the world. And I'm going to give one case study of a foundation which we did for Iberdrola. So on the left-hand side, the foundation, which is a cube, which they currently use, weighs 4 tons, emits 4 tons of CO2. And just by doing 3D printing, this new foundation is 1.4 tons and emits 1.4 tons of CO2. And by using circular materials, end-of-life cycle materials, we can reduce that CO2 footprint to 300 kilograms. So as opposed to 4 tons of CO2 with 4 tons of concrete, with 1.4 tons of recycled material and only 300 kilograms of CO2 output. And it performs the same as normal concrete. So this is an example of the foundation which we printed. So this is 1.4 tons of foundation, which was printed in 1 hour. What we do also with the clients is after this initial project where we did the pilot inside our factory, we set up mobile and remote factories because as you know, energy clients, energy distribution networks need remote locations. So the idea is then we go to those remote locations and set up micro factories and 3D print those foundations. How are we unique? We have our proprietary sustainable concrete mix. We have software intelligence and machine learning algorithm, and we do automated reinforcement. So we can lay reinforcement at the same time while we are 3D printing concrete, as you can see in the section here. So we can 3D print reinforced concrete, and you can see also that it's a monolith when you cut. So you don't see those 3D printed layers when you cut a section. It's a monolith concrete. We have a very international team and very capable team. So for example, my experience is from architecture and 3D printing. I also have a PhD in technology and architecture. Our head of construction used to work for Arup in London, worked on large construction projects. Our head of product used to work for Philips. And Fernando already has experience of establishing few startup companies. And we have been working with Fraunhofer Institute, Catapult Foundation from Norway, and have received some funding from European Union for climate action. Thank you very much, and let's collaborate to 3D print a better future.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Nicholas Silberg, and I'm the CEO of Unmanned Life, and I'm here to talk about the future. And at Unmanned Life, we believe that the future is autonomous. And to really unlock the full potential of robots in enterprise, you need to be able to orchestrate and to enable the seamless orchestration of autonomous robotics. Now, we see today you have millions of commercial drones that are being deployed and will be deployed, millions of commercial robots. And each one of them has its own operating system. And this fragmentation creates inefficiencies. And we are convinced that robots will only save millions if they are able to work together as one autonomous workforce. So this is what we have created, is one software platform that acts like one intelligent central brain, providing multiple cutting-edge capabilities to deploy, manage, and control autonomous fleets of robots and drones. Now, if I look into the high-level architecture, if you start from left to right, we transform individual drones, individual robots, thanks to our intelligent central brain, into autonomous industrial use cases in smart cities and Industry 4.0. Very important, you need to think about all these solutions as a platform and not as a solutions. And a software platform that provides a modular approach, this is what is going to unlock scalability. And we have three key pillars on our platform. It is flexible, it is open, and very, very important, interoperable. Now, if you take these three key pillars, this software modular approach, the platform approach, you are able to unlock different type of use cases with the same software, going from surveillance, inspections, maintenance, logistics, security, all from one intelligent brain. Now, this vision, we are already implementing this, working with customers and partners, in particular with the telecom companies. You see that we're working with leading companies in the world, from industrial companies, from smart port companies, and the telco companies that are providing all the infrastructure to make the autonomous robotics happen. I want to show you also what are our live projects. I'm not going to talk to you about all of them, but I will pick three. The very first one, the cell tower inspection that we're doing with Etisalat in the UAE. This can be extrapolated to any infrastructure inspection. We are using autonomous drones controlled by our software, also with AI analytics, to autonomously detect anomalies in the infrastructure. The same software is being used by TELUS in Canada with the outdoor surveillance use case, where we are orchestrating fleet of autonomous drones to control, to provide security in campus areas and to detect any trespassing that is happening at that moment. Last but not least, I want to also mention the 5G smart factory, where we are doing a coordination of multi-robots, drones and autonomous mobile robots for the last mile delivery between supplier and the assembly line. And this we're doing with SEAT and Telefónica in Barcelona. Now, how are we making sure that we achieve and that we make this vision a reality? Is because we have a very strong team, more than 60 years of experience on all the key elements needed to scale a business. And to finalize, I want to deliver this message. Thank you for inviting me today. Is that for us at Adman Life, leadership is in the partnership. We can only achieve leadership if we are able to cooperate rather than compete. We cannot win alone. And I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to present my company today.
Hi, London. Greetings from Switzerland. I'm Nilsson, co-founder and CEO of Nomoco. Pleasure to be around. And as already introduced, as a company, we provide a digital twin platform up until country scale. For us, the big motivation was that we identified three important problems. The first one being that data, while being generally available, is not coming together in one place. And only if you have data at scale there, you can really produce digital solutions that you can deploy on a lot of different sites. The second big problem we saw is that there's a large fragmentation in terms of prop tech solutions at the moment. So we have a market in Europe of roughly 3,000 prop techs. They're not talking to each other. There's not single entry point. You have to log into 5 different platforms in order to really have a digital backbone for your company. And that's exactly what has to change. And then the third problem we see on an everyday basis is that we still make decisions based on our imagination because we're relying on plans, on maps, but we don't have a full immersive experience in order to do so. Now, as a company, we build everything around the concept of a digital twin. And although you all know that the digital twin for us is really a data representation of the building across its entire life cycle. It's not BIM, it's not market data, it's all of this combined. It's GIS systems combined with BIM, everything coming together across the life cycle of a building. Now, in terms of platform, very important, we want to make this very easy to use, and therefore it's web-based. You don't need any IT systems or IT support in order to get started. The entry point is free, so essentially we start with the Google Maps replacement with more relevant information for the real estate industry, and then the platform has 3 core components being the geodata, the large-scale aspect, the building data, the asset data as such, and then applications which run on top in a marketplace. So when we look at geodata, here we combine Earth observation data, satellite data, commercial data from the banks, the transactions. We go to open data sources. And of course, we involve the governments for their GIS systems and their local cadasters in order to have the legal information there combined as well. When we then switch to the building data, we have a little bit of a different approach. We have still the big data approach, the top-down approach, where we collect 150 data points, for instance, here in Switzerland for every building in the country, where we go through very similar sources and very large-scale data providers. And then we also have the asset data itself. So there comes the data from the asset owner, from the site itself, from documents, from sensors you have in the building installed, from IT systems that have data about this particular building, to applications which are already running with this data in mind or with this property in mind in the first place. Now, the really important step is now the consolidation of different prop techs into one place. Here we started a marketplace. We have almost 40 companies already signed up here in Switzerland. And here the range of those companies which then can be launched on top ranges from a market data provider here in Switzerland, one of the leading ones, giving property valuations, giving insights into the market, to engineering companies which take their traditional service business into a productized world where they need to automate the building simulation and which energy system actually would be CO2 neutral for that given building in a fully automated workflow and much, much lower cost than what they currently charge with their engineering hours in the first place. And then we have, from our side as well, the implementation of 3D models, which means we can implement the CAD model, the scene, the site into the context. Now you can visualize it immersively. You can understand what is the view from the building, how does it look, what is the shadow cast, how does it fit into the entire environment. And that's what we provide as an own application in this app store. So how does this look like in the end? You have everything at the click of a button. So you go from a property, which is interesting. You get the key numbers, the square meter, the price per square meter. From there, you say, this is an interesting site. I want to know more. You book your app for a market validation, your procedural design. From there, next year, you start to share it with your peers. You go to the banks, get a mortgage claim for it, or mortgage assessment. And in the end, you have everything as an assessment. Company, we have 180 companies as users, 50 companies as customers, a very experienced board, and are now looking to expand to different geographies. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Nathan. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Padaris. Every year, the world invests trillions of pounds building better transport systems and urban infrastructure, but it's getting far too little value for that money. Projects are routinely delayed by months, years, sometimes even decades. Globally, cost overruns add up to hundreds of billions of pounds every single year. Why is this happening? Because building better cities is hard. You need the cooperation of dozens of different disciplines and stakeholders: policymakers, planners, engineers, property developers, technology vendors, transport operators, financiers, public interest groups, and more. But everyone is in different places and has different priorities. It's very difficult to get everyone on the same page at the same time. In other words, they're all in their own silos, and it's the gaps between those silos where project delays and cost overruns take root. That's why we created Padaris. Padaris is a revolutionary collaboration platform for early stage and high level transport and development planning, engineering, analysis, and stakeholder engagement. It brings together all disciplines and stakeholders to create transport and development projects in a way that is more agile, accurate, inclusive, and cost effective. Let's take a look at how this works. Padaris makes it easy to work more accurately from the earliest stages of project development, avoiding big problems downstream. We do this with clever parametric modeling tools that instantly calculate accurate right-of-ways, travel times, and other key engineering properties for almost any kind of transport system. Padaris can easily create scenarios and do sophisticated cost-benefit analysis for multimodal transport networks at virtually any scale, finding answers in minutes where traditional planning techniques would take weeks or months. And here's the revolutionary part. Padaris isn't a desktop application. It's a web-based cloud collaboration platform accessible to anyone who needs it. Integrated stakeholder engagement lets non-technical participants give feedback immediately. Collaborative editing environments let planners and engineers work together from anywhere in real time. So what we're doing is taking feedback loops that ordinarily would require weeks or months and reducing those feedback loops to milliseconds. That's how we break the silos. That's how we get everyone on the same page at the same time. That's how we catch the mistakes that would otherwise doom projects. That's how we prevent delays and cost overruns. That's how we can explore many more planning scenarios, resulting in transport and development projects that are better for everyone. Let's take a look at how our platform is being used. Heathrow used Padaris to create scenarios for its third runway expansion. Our tool helped them evaluate innovative autonomous vehicle systems that would be hard to model in other platforms. We've also been used for similar airport projects around the world. Google uses Padaris to plan their campus expansion in Silicon Valley. Our demand modeling and spatial analysis tools help them see the trade-offs in different property developments and travel demand management strategies, quickly evaluating the impacts on both public and private transport systems. RElab, working under Transport for Wales, used Padaris to create a strategic redesign of the Welsh bus network. Our stakeholder engagement tools let them bring local authorities and transport operators from all across Wales directly into the planning process, producing hundreds of comments which resulted in a better network design with more stakeholder buy-in. And this is the tip of the iceberg. We already have many of the world's top planning and engineering consultancies on board and are making rapid inroads among local authorities, transport operators, major campus owners, and property developers. We have a great team. My co-founder and I have created 5 companies between us and have unparalleled experience in transport planning, urban design, and software engineering. Thanks for listening, and I look forward to working with y'all to build a better future.
Hi, everyone. It's really good to be with you today, and I'm excited to be speaking to all of you. So, as we all know, despite having hundreds of solutions available within the construction industry, we still find that information is often disconnected and in many cases trapped in Excel, Word, and PDFs. In many ways, this is costing the industry tens of millions of pounds every year. Our team has a background in construction and digital transformation in the construction sector and developing technology solutions for legacy industries. So we set out to solve this problem by empowering our users to build their own custom information hubs that are fit for their needs. In many ways, we were founded under the belief that software shouldn't dictate how you work, and you should dictate how it works. So, in creating custom information hubs, this allows you to increase productivity, unlock insights from trapped data, and make decisions based on trusted and timely information. We're really trying to bring together what makes several different types of solutions that you're used to unique. So examples of that include traditional software in the industry, traditional databases, and even emerging no-code solutions, allowing us to create a platform that's customizable and user-friendly, connected and interoperable, and starts where traditional solutions stops by giving you the best practices and processes to kickstart your journey. So when you enter a Morta project, you always have a dashboard that has the set of processes that you have access to. And here are a few examples like specifications, building regulation applications, and project tasks. So taking tasks as an example, you can see a table. I'm sure it looks like a spreadsheet from far away. In many ways it is, and that is the intent. It is as familiar as a spreadsheet. What's key is this can be customized, and we can control the way that the data is being fed into these tables so that data quality can improve and be consistent. Each of these tables can be customized, as I mentioned, and in some cases we can power up these columns with Python-based scripts. So we're starting to see BIM managers and project teams develop their own scripts on top of these tables that allow them to automate day-to-day decision-making or data entry. We can also split these tables into different views. So we can have a view of the project tasks that's only relevant for the client team or the contractors team or the designers team, for instance. And ultimately, any of these tables and views can be embedded within documents that make them really easy to interact with and familiar to the end user. The main advantage of all of this is we're starting to connect all of our data together, and we're starting to reuse our data and make sure that it's consistent. And we're starting to visualize the relationships between this information in what you see in front of you. Finally, we can connect to other solutions using APIs, which allows us to integrate with existing workflows and solutions, be it creating reports in Power BI, notifying people within things like Teams, or even pulling data from other sources like Revit, your common data environments, or project management systems and financial systems. We're fortunate enough to have been working with organizations across the supply chain. I think what really brings them all together is they're all trying to achieve end-to-end digital transformation and fill in the gaps that they currently have within their systems. So we've seen contractors use us, owners use us, public bodies use us, and consultancies use us. And two quick use cases I'd highlight include contractor management, where we brought over 150 data sources together and automated the payment review process, and asset information management, where we're helping collect asset information and verify it and assure it. So thanks a lot for listening, and I look forward to answering any of your questions.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rafi Holzer, CEO of Avir, and we are creating the first and only system of record for the built environment. So today, there really is no single source of accurate data for construction projects. The data sets that you care about, whether that is your BIM, your schedule of values, all live in siloed software systems. And even within those siloed software systems, there's really no way to effectively keep each one of those data sets up to date, given the pace of change on a modern construction project. So what we're doing is solving both of those problems. We are first creating a unified project database by integrating all of those plan data sets that you care about and then syncing those with the reality of the construction site by integrating that database with reality capture information over the course of the construction project. Now, what that looks like thematically can kind of be broken down or seen here. So if we start at the top left of this slide, we start at the outset of a project by integrating the building information model with the schedule of values. So you've got your 4D and 5D BIM, creating that unified project database. And then over the course of the project, we're bringing in reality capture data in the form of 360 photos and or laser scans to do two kinds of analyses. So the two analyses we do are a progress analysis and a deviation analysis. And those two analyses give us the benefits we see on the right-hand side. So the progress analysis really is the ability to determine with accuracy and precision what's been built, what hasn't been built, to what extent of completion. So what you get from that is the ability to quantify progress by trade, by area, by subcontractor, and look at your production against your schedule, understand where you are versus where you're supposed to be. You can also look at your progress against your schedule of values and quantify earned value, understand which pipes to that level of granularity have been installed and how much value has been accrued through their installation. The deviation analysis enables us to identify which elements have been built to spec and which have not, and so enable us to identify mistakes before they become major conflicts and thereby prevent rework, as well as automatically update the as-built model so that it's in as-built condition throughout the project and during project handover. Now, we differentiate ourselves from the competition in a number of ways. We are the only reality analysis solution that can ingest both LiDAR and photography, is completely hardware agnostic. We can take data from any hardware out there, and that closes the loop between the field and your plans, which is incredibly important because if we're doing analysis between reality and plan, if those plans aren't easily updated, then the analysis itself becomes outdated quite quickly. Now, we've established anchor clients in 4 major verticals within construction. We're largely focused on data centers, industrial construction, health, and commercial high rises today, and we're working with some of the largest GCs in the United States. We have an incredible team with expertise in machine learning, in product management, in engineering, and in construction and design.